Edmodo Design Deconstruction, presented by Haley Carroll and Melissa Torres. The founders of Edmodo are Nick Borg and Jeff O'Hara. Nick Borg worked at Canelan High School in Illinois for 7 years building web-based tools and learning management solutions for a single school district before creating Edmodo. Jeff O'Hara worked for Community Unit School District in Wheaton, Illinois as a systems network administrator from 1999 to 2008. How did the two meet, you might ask? Jeff O'Hara's wife was Nick Borg's high school biology teacher. The two would meet in O'Hara's basement on nights and weekends, working on Edmodo as they continued working at their school districts. Who are Edmodo's main designers? The educators. Everything that we currently see on Edmodo is a result of direct teacher feedback. The teachers always are posting messages onto the Edmodo blog asking for different features, and these features Nick and Jeff would try to incorporate.
We're always hearing from teachers that Edmodo is transforming the way they teach. When I got the idea for Edmodo, I was working with a school district in their IT department, and I was having to block a lot of social networking and video sites. That's when I felt that education really needed a place that it could call its own.
The original Edmodo office was actually Jeff's basement, and so while both continuing to work at our respective school districts, we would meet nights and weekends to listen to teacher feedback and continue to develop this product into what you see today. Everyone is connected everywhere they go now, except for within the classroom. When students and teachers would arrive within the walls of the school, they enter this void where the tools that connect them to one another don't exist anymore. And in a place where this resource sharing is so incredibly important because it hinges on a student's ability to learn, we absolutely knew this was a place for social media tools to exist, but adapted to meet the security and privacy concerns brought on by a school environment.
Nick and I have always said that we want to build tools that teachers want to use instead of have to use.
All of the features in Edmodo have been driven by teacher feedback and are put in place to make their lives easier. Edmodo has entirely been dependent upon the teaching community that has spread the word about its usefulness as a tool and actually taken that tool and used it in ways that it's improving student learning.
Working on Edmodo so far has been an incredible experience. We're excited to see where this goes because the possibilities are endless.
Teachers want feedback follow-through for their ideas. 21st century students want an engaging and safe place to interact. School districts want quality college and career curriculum. A trifecta of pressures. Teachers, 21st century students, and school districts create the specifications Edmodo continues to adhere to today. From inspiration to ideation to implementation, Edmodo is hiring computer engineers to ensure the specifications and expectations continue to meet customer satisfaction needs.
Hopefully you've checked out Melissa's Poplet, which describes the design timeline, but here are some highlights. On January 9th in 2008, Nick and Jeff were working to get Edmodo up. On January 29th of 2008, they had a screen capture of a 90% working demo of Edmodo. March 6th of 2008, the screencast was complete demoing Edmodo. In May of 2008, Edmodo was on Twitter. September 2nd of 2008, Edmodo was finally launched. 1 week later, they headed to the TechCrunch 50 conference in San Francisco to demo Edmodo. At 2 weeks old, Edmodo already had 1,700 users. In March of 2009, Edmodo got a nod in the 2009 Horizon Report K-12 edition and a mention in the eSchool News article, 6 Technologies Soon to Affect Education. May 15th of 2009, there was an Edmodo outage. June 7th of 2009, Edmodo had 37,785 students and teachers nationwide. By July 31st, 2009, Edmodo 3.0 was launched. On August 3rd of 2009, Edmodo Cafe Press Store was opened selling Edmodo gear. About 1 year later, November 27th, 2009, we had the first mobile web app for Edmodo. February 9th, 2010, Edmodo was on ABC News Chicago about techno learning. June 27th, 2010, Edmodo attended its first ISTE conference. On the second birthday of Edmodo, September 2nd, 2010, Edmodo had 500,000 users. And by November 2010, the Help Center was launched as well as an Android app. By December 2010, Edmodo had 1 million users. January 2011, we had the iPhone app come out, introduction of parent accounts, and Edmodo went to the FETC conference. In April of 2011, Edmodo won the Bessie Award from Compute Ed as Best Multi-Subject Networking Resource. On July 2011, Edmodo held its first EdmodoCon. In November 2011, Edmodo received Technology and Learning Award of Excellence, and by December 2011, they added annotating assignments feature, and they welcomed Greylock Partners and Benchmark Capital. In January 2012, Edmodo headed back to the FETC conference. In March 2012, Edmodo added the ability to have Google Docs integrated into Edmodo. In April 2012, Edmodo was named 2012 Webby Awards Official Honoree, which is an international award honoring excellence on the Internet. In July of 2012, the New Enterprise Associates, Inc., or NEA, joined the Edmodo team. Edmodo received eSchool Media's Reader Choice Award, which recognizes educational technology products and services that have had the greatest impact in schools across the nation. In August of 2012, Edmodo held its second EdmodoCon. As of now, there are more than 2 million users, and Edmodo is continuing to grow. It is important to note that between 2009 and the current state, Edmodo has consistently listened to teachers' feedback and regularly improved and added features to Edmodo. A few of those include badges and PLCs. How were the founders able to afford this project? In 2008, Edmodo started out self-funded by Jeff O'Hara and Nick Borg, the founders. By 2009, Edmodo launched and Learn Capital was an investor. They currently invest in SchoolTube and ShowMe. In 2010, Edmodo was funded by Union Square Ventures, who also have investments in Twitter, Etsy, and Foursquare. The site was then acquired by the Fusion Project, a subsidiary of Revolution Learning. In 2011, Greylock Partners and Edmodo has raised $25 million in Series C financing from New Enterprise Associates and current investors. As a part of this deal, Tony Florence joined Edmodo's board, which already includes Reid Hoffman from LinkedIn and Matt Kohler from Facebook. As of July 2012, the total funding for Edmodo is $47.5 million.
Edmodo was designed in Jeff's basement in San Mateo, California. Nick and Jeff would meet nights and weekends to collaborate and implement teacher feedback. From once blockers to now connectors, from old school to new school, Nick, Jeff, and Edmodo expanded to a new office building. A modern, open, and collaborative design space, Edmodo staff utilized Mac products, Dropbox, Google Docs, and Google Apps to reach their customers.